Looks like the investigation is still going. Have to be getting back to the shop. Sorry, looks like I'll be stuck in this pit till the sun sleeps. I'll see you in my dreams tonight then, baby. What? Oh, still here? Hello? Why the surprised looks? Didn't I mention? I've got a boyfriend in criminal affairs, too. Oh my gosh. There are words that describe this lady very well, but none of them are family friendly. What's the phrase? Nope, not friendly. What happened to the security guard? Hey, what's wrong, Bambina? You're looking like a doggy that's lost his herd. Jake Marshall. Strange guy to put in charge of a crime scene. Wait, is there anything to talk about him first? There is. There's something I wanted to ask you. Scene of the crime, cold grave for men who lost their dreams. And me, I watch over them as they sleep, dreaming of the desert's harsh judgment. Need to sleep. Well, should we show this hopeless case something to catch his interest? Okay, so I guess we just present the thing first. Would you mind reading this for me? What's this? I warn you, fan letters to me go right in the spittoon. That's a learned introduction from Detective Gumshoe. May we investigate? Gumshoe. That old cow dog. He's on a birthday party or something. Look, where it should say letter of introduction, it says invitation. I think he just miswrote it. Why am I getting all defensive here? No worries. This proves it's from Detective Gumshoe better than a blood test. Guess I better let you in then. Thank you, Officer Marshall. That's right. He's a patrolman, not a detective. Which reminds me. Hey, wait a sec. Isn't a crime scene supposed to be handled by a detective or higher? Well, folks, clues are calling. Welcome to our gold strike. Be like the settler. Strike out for lands unknown. Manifest destiny. Let's have a hootenanny. Note to self, police investigations are like settling land. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? I say I won't be needing this anymore. Investigate! Okay. Cell phone. Cell phone? Scientific analysis should suggest that if this belonged to the victim. I can't think of anyone else who it could belong to. What's so scientific about that? That's process elimination. Check it out! Right. Let's check it out. Oh, I'm not doing it. I was moving slow and I was like, thanks, Capricious. Freaking remember. I loved flip phone. This phone's still on the radio screen. Redial screen. Mr. Wright? Most phones keep a record of all the calls you've made and received. You just press the blue button to display the last number you called. Convenient, isn't it? I'm surprised you didn't know about that. Sorry to disappoint you, but even I know things about redial. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. It's just, you never know with people from your generation. I am one generation above you, young lady. Check the phone out. Click the blue button. Boop. Now see who the owner of this phone called last. Note to self, a defense attorney doesn't think first, he just pushes the button. How do you call somebody whose mania is to make things explode, like setting fire as a pyromaniac? An arsonist. Oh wait, no. No, that will work. Arsonist is fire, though. Also pyromaniac for explosions. So basically, who is Junkrat? I don't think Firebug works. What is it? I don't remember the thing. There's a term for the ones who like to explode. Hey, that song, I know that. Alright, what's going on over here? Sorry. I see you, partner. You pressed redial on that phone, didn't you? Yeah. Whose phone is this anyway? It was on the ground over there. Whose is it? That belongs to Chief Prosecutor Sky. What? That's my sister's. She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody, right after the crime. Look, the last call was made right when the murder occurred. Looks like she was fixing to call someone. Except she only spoke for a few seconds, according to this. Who'd she call? Ghostbusters! Sorry, partner. Now, I got a question for you, partner. I heard a phone ring just now. One of those new-fangled ringtones. That? Oh. I'm sorry, that was my phone. She called us? Oh, crap. See you, Dim. Thanks for hanging out, man. Well, your phone. Yeah, it's kind of strange, but someone called me right as we picked up the other phone. Wrong number. I hope you're not lying, partner. They shoot you for that in Texas. I've incited the wrath of the Lone Star Patrolman. Last call was made at 5:18 on the day of the murder. Dude, she called us. This rope, is it? Yep. Laid in the outline of the victim's body. So wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. You've got to be the only person I know who would come up with that conclusion. Some sort of note. I'm already looking at it from several different angles because I know how this game works. Something's written on it. Oh, it's Goodman. 6, 7S, or 675, 12-2, or 221 SL9. There's a name printed on the paper above it, says Goodman. He fell in his pocket when he was killed? Well, so, what does it mean, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? For deductive reasoning, go to Edgeworth, not Wright. That's fair. I'm sure Edgeworth wouldn't know what this means either. Appears to be the car where the body was found. Looks like the lock on the trunk is busted. Crime scene took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. Quite a luxury car. It just screams, I have money to burn! Yeah, prosecutors get the big bucks. B block is through there. It's where visitors park. I see the lunch lane car over there, far in the distance. Hey, you're right. Look at the design on the door. I can see cartoon cow munching down on a juicy looking steak. Cannibalism. Doesn't this strike you as a little creepy? Just don't think too deeply about it and you'll be fine. That advice can go a long way in all of things. Make sure I can't click on the 1 or the 3. A block. This area is reserved for prosecutors. Defense attorneys are relegated to B block. I dream of the day when I'll be able to park my car here. I'll go over to B block to buy my hamburgers from you, Mr. Wright. I'm not planning on giving up my job that soon. Here's a question. Is this like one of those elevated parking lots, or is this just the second level? Like, does this thing move? Is that like an elevator of cars? I mean, it's got like... It looks like it could be. Which would be pretty cool. Like a car dispenser. Let's make sure we got all this. Check. All the checks. I think we got all the checks. Is Spirit of Justice in this trilogy, though, Brick? Otakuthon is having a raffle for free hotel among pre-registered people. Oh! That'd be great. That'd be so cool, Fantasia. Officer Marshall, could you tell us more about the victim? Good men always die young. Remember that, partner. Could you be a little more specific? Bruce Goldman. He was a detective, right? Well, aren't you a feisty doggy there now? Detective Goodman was stabbed here at 5:15. Smiling Madonna told me the tale. I think he means the witness. One stabbed at chest. Fine piece of work. This here is the autopsy report. Due to loss of blood, one knife wound, died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. So this just popped in my head from there. He wasn't dead right away. He could have been in Edgeworth's car when he drove it here. Was my sister involved with the victim in any way? Funny you should mention that, Bambina. Chief Prosecutor Sky and Detective Goodman had nothing in common at all. Nothing in common? An hour and a half of time from 4? Yeah, so between 5 and 5:30? So I guess they could time when the cut was, and then they could time by the amount of blood you would lose when you would die. They apparently worked together on a case a few years back. So there's no motive. Goodman wasn't a particularly gifted detective. There's one reason why he didn't do much work with the chief prosecutor. But my sister called the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here, this parking lot? So it seems. Like calling an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon. High noon. I don't mean any offense, but Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? Not a detective? You calling me out? They shoot you for that in Texas. I was one of them fancy shoe detectives till 2 years ago, to tell you the truth. Oh, really? Now he tells me. Confirm McCree from another world. Yeah, right. But you're a patrolman now, so how can you be in charge of a crime scene? Nothing gets by you, does it, Bambina? So, why are you in charge? No reason. We're just sort on hands right now. I'm keeping an eye out in the meantime. Gumshoe had nothing to do. He could have done it. That's odd, though. Gumshoe was saying he had nothing to... I'm gonna let the game talk. He's nothing but a sad old cow dog. That can't find his tail. Maybe it's because he runs that Edgeworth, huh? Edgeworth? That cow dog's been kicked out of this cattle run by order of Chief of Police. Just, you don't realize it yet. Detective Gumshoe kicked out of the investigation? That's weird. He's usually like, is he that good and they don't want him to find anything? So there's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister? That's correct, but there's a good gold mine of evidence against her. And that prospector tomorrow is none other than Edgeworth himself. I'm afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambina. Many condolences. Officer Marshall. Yeah, Bambina? How can you say that? You and my sister, you were... Did they get it on? I don't know. Is there something between the cop and her sister? I'll apologize, Bambina. Something must have gotten to me. Maybe it's that dry wind that's blowing through the prospector's office. Dry wind or ill wind, something's up. But who? Suspicions about it, Mr. Edgeworth have been flying around now for nearly 2 years. Forged evidence and arranging testimonies, you mean? He was unbeatable because he did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable, that is, until he met you. But rumors are just rumors, aren't they? These are prosecutors we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them. If you follow the rumors about Edgeworth to their source, you find one person. But they're off limits. Untouchable, you might say. Who? Fantasia, good night, and good luck on winning that that free thing from the Otaku-thon. That'd be great. It's more money to buy stuff with. I hate to say this, but it's your sister, Bambina. Chief Prospector Lana Sky. Your sister? Edgeworth couldn't rustle all those cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets. Some people load them with deals. What, you're saying Edgeworth's making deals to win trials? Where there's gunshots, there's bound to be bullets. That's what the old-timers say. There's a big old secret hidden around here somewhere. Everyone knows it. Is that why Detective Gumshoe was taken off the case? Did they target him because he was closest to Edgeworth? So, how are we doing, Mr. Wright? I guess we got some clues. We have an autopsy report, a note from the victim, a cell phone. So, you think we'll be okay? Well, the only thing still bother me is that Lena's confessing to the crime. She says she did it. No problem. I can guarantee that she's not the criminal. Oh, by the way, Emma, I know that song your phone plays when it rings. What? She was calling Emma. It's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? That popular TV show for kids. The phone that rang earlier wasn't mine. It was yours. Lana was trying to call her sister. I don't remember that. At 5:18, just after the murder took place, your sister called you, didn't she, Emma? I'm sorry. Can you tell me what you talked about? She hung up right away. I see. Last call made to her sister, Emma, at 5:18, the day of the murder. A detective is murdered. The suspect is the top prosecutor in the district. Got a bad feeling about this. Like, maybe I still don't know everything that went on here. No, you don't. That's not how this game works. You know, like, this much. Otherwise, it's not fun. I think we got time for one more section. How did the investigation go, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. A defense attorney should never believe their client. Now you stick to prosecuting. I'll stick to defending. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. There's one decisive difference between you and her. You're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. She's like Hammond? Oh, when I saw Hammond, I did first go to Wrecking Ball from Overwatch. You mean the Robert Hammond? Yes, that one. Sorry. My first try without a Fae helping me. No one's gonna bail me out this time. Let's see if it's the Fae luck or you're just good. I'll be in there alone, so I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Scientifically speaking, of course. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution has all been ready for a while, Your Honor. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be part of proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. She's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. A professional witness? Like a professional, what were those? In My Hero Academia, professional, like, victims for them to rescue. Prosecution calls its first witness Miss Angel Starr. Cough up queen. Woo! Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar? I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. And for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? Oh, and you, sir. Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? This is why everyone raves about caviar. It's really tasty. It hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca? That's the word. Yeah, fingerprint knife. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name. Profession. Now. Me? The name's Angel Starr. You don't go forgetting it, honey. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. Prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Starr was a detective? Oh, I know who you are. Cough up Queen Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well, you continue with the description. What's going on here? If I might have the court's attention over here. I don't know how long the judge has been a judge, but he's about to, like, he's a judge. The parking lots in that prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block for the prosecutor's officer's personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor spaces. The crime scene took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. She didn't have Edgeworth's key, though. How was she supposed to be driving away? Did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. Seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Mr. Wright? I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr. What? What? I'm confused. Why is everybody rooting for her? Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. Boyfriend number 7, I think. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip to the knife's Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching. As you can see, there's no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw stabbed into Detective Goodman. So how does it feel to be utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. Let me read the court record real quick. Usually edged with traces of victim's blood, no prints. 1 knife wound, died within an hour and a half of 4. That means he didn't die right when he was stabbed. That's wrong. Memo, card, picture. Okay. Cool. It's merely a flesh wound. I'm so glad they said that. Just a flesh wound. No, it's not. You've got no arms left. Yes, I have. What are you going to do? Bleed on me? So good. Mr. Wright, cross-examine. Wait, go back. Press. How did you know? I respect the prosecutors, Barrett. Basic abhorrence of crime. Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Star, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job and became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I'm a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. It can't be. Like, literally can't be. Someone waited to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend? Which number boyfriend? His boyfriend. He's the detective? Not that boyfriend. The security guard one. You have several? Yes. This boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. The security guard room is in the lot in A block. It's up on the 2nd level, so you can see everything from there. That'd be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime? When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely held detective's intuition? You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like... What should I say? Ah, yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. The feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. Oh, a brick that Tisbot, a flesh room, that's from Monty Python and the Search for the Holy Grail. Yeah, must see if you like stupid comedy. I have no idea what that means. In fact, our raid, whenever we get raided, like when it says run away, that's from the movie. Speaking of a detective's intuition, isn't the victim, Mr. Bruce Goldman, also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. Huh? A pale white cheese, not tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. That must be hard, yellowed, and sharp as a tack. Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. Ooh, old man smell. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. By garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Edgeworth? Incidentally, the knife with the victim was stabbed with was also Edgeworth's. Can the judge and old bag be shipped? I think the judge actually has a wife, because he has grandkids. Which is, he mentions later. Wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, were you sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her. She's telling the truth. We're doomed. Just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are biased. You are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Rookie? Unless you're willing to go risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter. Crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. I believe I've heard that tagline somewhere. You could cry plagiarism? I may be regulated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. Photograph? Who took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap! Took a picture. In fact, one of my lunch boxes is rigged with a camera. That's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. This is most certainly the defendant. In A block. That's the detective's jacket, though. That's his unmistakably Lana Skye. So what was the defendant doing at the time? The prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. That's not even in your picture. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It's your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, very well versed in the location of a black man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg. I mean a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? She thrust the pointy tip of the knife in Detective Goodman's chest. Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? Defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late. Yes. The next moment, Chief Prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. You see? It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. You can make it. I said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Flawless. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, okay? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that! Okay. I feel like this could be it. Oh! Hold on. Okay, no. I was thinking in her right hand because she had a bandage, but that would be from the knife, I guess. I'm trying to... I feel like this is... She couldn't have seen it very clearly. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garage door. Chief prosecutor holding a knife in her right hand. Thrust the pointy tip to the knife of the knife into the defective Goodman's chest. I don't think these first three do anything. Why is there a wall separating the security office and the spot where the murder happened? But it's on a high rise. You can still, I'm pretty sure you can still see it. Cause that the one next to the telephone, it wasn't super tall. But like if someone was standing next to the door of the telephone, you couldn't see. But the security room's high. I think you can still see it. I kind of want to try this. No. Okay. That was the first thing I wanted to try. This has to be something. Problem is, even her like picture, the moment of the crime, as photographed by Star. Objection! Yeah, and you yeah, she's not holding a knife in that one. And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with a knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear to